All right, I'm going to play some Tour 5, try and get some Glenmonarch holes for the upcoming Riverside tournament. There's several of these Glenmonarch holes that I do max horsepower hook shot on, and I want to go out there and see if I can get some of them. Hole 3, par 5. Not sure. Glenmonarch, I'm looking for Glenmonarch 6, 4, 5, 7, and 9. And this is definitely one of the ones we're looking for. I'm thinking Extra Mile Big Dog. I think I have one of those bags in here. Or Extra Mile Guardian. Or Apocalypse Guardian. I'm going to try and do a rough bump. Partially, I do not like where my opponent's setting their stuff up. They are a quarter of a ring away from that transitional surface. So if they make a bad wind adjustment, or if they hit anything to the left, they are in trouble. And you're setting the shot up. It's your shot. And you're giving yourself 2 rings. Great. If that doesn't clip the rough, I'm going to be really upset. That's the whole deal right there. There is this hole right here. You can't fail on this drive to start off with. It's my second club, Guardian. I think I need to do about a 10% wind adjustment here. Oh, come on, dude. Dude. Kelly. Oh, that. You never forfeit like that. You're counting on that your opponent is going to make their shot and that everything goes good. That is definitely a one shot at a time hole. You got 2 serious shots. And you're never going to get good at shots from distance coming to the cup and build up the confidence that you can make those shots if you don't take those shots. And forfeiting right there is, oh. So if you're practicing and you didn't get that right, then what you do on your second shot is you chip exactly to where you were going to be, where you wanted to be on your drive, so that you can practice that next shot. You can always take something positive out when you're on these holes instead of forfeiting. I mean, you paid the cheddar. Make your opponent earn it. I mean, how many times have you seen you make a mistake and then your opponent makes a mistake? There's no... And how many times have you played where you've been behind and then you made that spectacular shot and was able to get back on track? Now there is another way to play this hole instead of just going straight forward. Now normally I just go straight forward, but the last time this was in the tournament, I played it to the left to do the rough bump. And I'm not 100% sure that this is, what do I have? Grim Reaper, Spring, this bag right here will work. Just going to do a couple top spin. 7-3. There's 5, 6, 7, 3. Just try and hit it straight forward. Hitting it perfect. Try and get it up there, up into that chute. You don't need to get all the way to the tip, although if there is a spot out here, if you get to, you could be in between clubs. That's definitely a shot that you want to practice and get dialed in if you're playing that side on the tournament, so you know exactly how much topspin to put on, so you're in the same spot every time. Because the ball that you bring and the club that you bring on the other end can be affected by your landing spot big time. To be honest with you, I can't remember. So there's Grizzly. Plenty of room. Boy, that looks narrow. That looks like they almost took it out. 7-3. Where am I at in club again? Pretty close to max. Hey, get out here where I can see you. Okay, Grizzly. There's 5, 6, 7, 3. Hit it one ring great to the right. And it is narrow. That seems like that spot down there is narrower than it used to be. And that was almost like a rock bump. That shot's not a bad shot with the wind blowing the way that it was right there, where I'm getting that pure side wind. Make a bad wind adjustment, you're still in the rough. If you got one of those headwind, tailwind shots on that, you really got to know what your wind adjustment is. Like in one-on-one, unless you really knew what your wind adjustment was, that would not be the way that I would go in one-on-one. Because in one-on-one, it's all about getting up here and giving yourself that opportunity right there. And then if you don't make it, get in with no risk. There's no risk on the other side. If you're in tournament play, and we're really trying to dial in the numbers, and we know what the numbers are that week, the rough bump works good. What is it with people forfeiting? What is it? We have 2 of the par 3s in Glenmonarch, and you'd think that people would want to go to Shootout so that we could try and pick up those Glenmonarch holes. I am mystified why people are forfeiting today. I mean, if they want to give me some cheddar, I'll take it, but that's... Can never bitch when somebody gives you money, but like, why? As a competitor, it's always best to go to the end. Let's try that one more time. I can't remember if going to the hole, I think going to the hole was just a straight... If we were doing an adjustment, it seemed like it was really small. See if I can get rid of my big top rock, because I'm curious to see how far my big topper can get out on this hole. If you bring out a big ball, you can get way out there to the end. Let's bring out my number 3 bag. About 1 point, I think it's 2.1 per ring. I'm going to do right at a ring. That puts me about almost a ring into power. Put a little teeny bit of curl. Hit it 2 rings straight to the left. And that'll put me in the rough over on the other side, right there. With a Titan and that big topper 7, you can get all the way out to the end, because you can get in front of that one fairway bunker and get your path going through the gap down there just like you like it. And you can get monster drive. The last tournament I had got that we played this, I just got that big topper 7, and really wanted to look at it out here, but I was trying the shot on the other side. The wind was blowing right, so that the shot on the other side was a pretty decent shot. Okay, there's Max. And we're probably eking towards mid. Do 1.5. 1.5 per ring. Start off on that side. 1.5, that's about 3 rings. Trying to hit perfect. Hitting it perfect. See if we can get in a cup. Close. Maybe a 10% wind adjustment there. Close. It's a combo. I wasn't quite at mid, and I wasn't quite at min, or maximum. I play that club 1.75, so it's 1 at max and 1.75 at mid. I was kind of in between, so I played it at 1.5. So I could have did a little bit more of a pull there, like a 1.4, or I could have added on 10%. In the hole. That whole deal will change if you bring a 3 Powerball, because right there I probably would have been a minimum club. There's a rough bump on this hole. There's quite a few different ways to come at this hole, depending on which tees you're playing from. If you're playing from the back tees, I'm pretty sure there's still a rough bump. You can also bounce off this island, or you can come at it from this side over here. See if my opponent can get up. They can get up, but not all the way up. They left a lot on the table. Big dog's not actually the best club for the job here. I'm pretty sure we're adding on 10%. So it's going to be 7. So there's 2, 4, 6, 7. And I'm going to have to short shoot it. I have no idea where it's going to go. Definitely not a club that I would normally bring on a hole like this and then piss poor setup. I'm glad they left me 16 yards of breathing room. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. If you can't be good, be lucky. That's the deal. Come on, man. Come on, Yurik. Of course not. Nobody wants to replay. Let's make sure we got a couple slots open. Clearing out the chests. Got some common cards right there. Trying to replenish your 300 common cards every day so you can participate forever in the Prism chest. I got a pretty good stake when it came out. I think just in common cards, if I didn't play any more, I could participate in the club card trading for about 260 days. This is not the bag. I'm going to bring this bag right here. $2.7, I'm right at the red line. That's a little over a ring. I'll lean just a little. Hitting it perfect. Trying to float myself up. I really do believe on this hole we take off a little bit of wind. I think it's 10%. It might be 5, but I'm pretty sure we take off a little bit of wind. See how far my opponent can get up there. One ring great to the left. Yo, left. Very nice. Very nice. Nice shot. That, unfortunately, There's min club, so I'm right at min. So it's 5.2 equals divided by 2. I'm going to do a 2.5 ring pull. All right, there's 2.5 rings. What's up, baby?
That's freaking out.
Yep.
Mwah.
Mwah. Isn't it perfect? In the hole. That's what I'm talking about. So it was 4.68 was the win. That was with a minus 10%. And then I'm counting, I worked that, my Hornet at that range at 2 per ring. So it came out to 2.34. And because I was going against the headwind, I did, and the headwind was pretty straightforward to the cup. It wasn't right on it, but I did over pull it about 1.5, which probably put back on the 10% that I took off, or a portion of it. It seemed right. And it worked. That's what counts. What's always amazing to me is I talk to my buddy Dale Appleby, and he talks about people, he'll make a shot, and then people will come on and go, hey man, you didn't set that shot up right. And he's like, well, I got it in the hole. I got the hole in one, or I got the eagle, or I got the Albie. So if I would have set it up different, then I wouldn't have got that. So evidently I did set it up right. Sometimes you can go back and you watch that. This is why it's so important to record your own video. You can go back, if you make a shot like that, you can go back and watch it. And what you find is that when you did the setup, you didn't do it right. And so you made an error, and then when you do the math, you're like, okay, this is the thing. And sometimes you do it and you go, oh, hey, I haven't been making an adjustment here. And what I just did was I took off 10%, or I added 5%, or something was different. Let's clear that slot. See if we can get our 4 golds for the day, clear out that pin chest. Here we roll. World Links. Glenmonarch Estates, hole 6, par 5. Is this one of the ones we're looking for? We are looking for Glenmonarch, hole 6. No, this is not one of the holes we're looking for. There is a max overpower hook shot on this hole too, but with a 6.7 headwind, even with a Titan, I don't know if I could get over to the other side. Maybe. I wish my opponent would have brought out a bigger ball, and I wouldn't feel like such a D-bag bringing out a Titan. It's hard to get over there with it. Yeah, my opponent did it, so it can be done. It can be done. Nice shot. Nice shot. Let's switch balls here. Let's switch this up. Extra mile. And it's going to put me right in that area right there. So 6, 7, 2, 4, 6, 7. Let's see if I can clip that rough and bleed out there. Right there. There we go. Just enough. Now I don't have my big dog, and I've actually, the next shot here is a pure setup shot with a big dog. You can get on from that spot, you can get on in 2, or you can get on from there with a big dog doing a max overpower hook shot. I've played this hole for a long time, and that max overpower hook shot is money. This hole is definitely one shot at a time, because it is no, I mean, you've got to get over to the fairway that I'm at, and obviously the farther forward you can get, the better. I think I have a Guardian in this bag. Maybe I have a Sniper. I got a Guardian. This is obviously easier with I don't have as much curl. I'm going to be out in this area right here. I don't have near as much curl here. And I had more curl than I thought, so I probably over curled that, and I'm going to end up in the sand right here. Yeah. That club had a lot more curl than I had anticipated. I got that Guardian up to level 9, and I think somewhere up in that 8-9 range it picked up a bunch of curl. Normally there's a ball marker out there, and I aim directly at that ball marker, and then you can adjust a little bit to either side of it, just depending on the wind or the club. But a Guardian doesn't have enough topspin. It's with your big dog, you've got some more options, and the big dog does have more curl. That's all right. I can still get it in from here. Okay, there's max. There's mid. So I'm in the 8 per ring range. I'm gonna do a 6-6. So there's 4. There's 5, 6, 6. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if I got my adjustment right. In the hole! I know it doesn't seem like that's a big adjustment on that, on the that Nirvana, but your Nirvana, I did a video. It's in the AAA strategies and guides. There's a video in there on setting up your rough iron and sand wedges, doing wind adjustments on them. And those clubs, your rough iron, your sand wedge, and your wedge are the most accurate clubs in your bag, regardless of their base accuracy. Like when they're at max club, they may not be the most accurate clubs in your bag, but as you get them closer, because those clubs can hit from, here's where your ball's sitting on the fairway, and here's the green, and here's the flagpole. You can hit a wedge from right here 1 inch in front of you all the way to the flagpole. It's maximum distance. Same thing with your rough iron, and same thing with your sand wedge. Every other club has a range out here, and you're in that range. You're at its minimum red line or its maximum red line, so it has this very small range. So its accuracy band is from max to min. But when you're using a wedge, a rough iron, or a sand wedge, your accuracy range is from the flagpole to where the ball's sitting on the ground. And so when you're out here at max, yeah, it's not as accurate. But when you start pulling that sucker back towards you, and the closer you can get it to you, the more accurate that club is, and it is super accurate. Super. How many we got left on that pin chest? 2. Dose. Sure we have plenty of time. 24 minutes. We got like 30 minutes. Drew more links. Hole 9. Par 5. Seems like we just played these Drew more links holes in a tournament. This shot over the rocks is definitely, I see a lot of people do it, and in tournament play, a lot of people do it. There is a way to get over there, and I'm just never been a big fan of hitting over rocks. Or hitting onto the rocks. It's a nice shot. Nice shot, man. I'm going to switch to this bag right here, and I'm going to switch to a Marlin. I actually think that's too far. I think the last few times I've been here, I've actually hit it farther out there than I really wanted to. 2, 4, 5. Let's try and hit it straight. Hitting it perfect. Just trying to bleed myself up there to the end of that peninsula. I've been actually overdriving the spot that I want, and I still think I overdrove it there. I was probably 20, 30 yards farther than I needed to drive it. I've actually made the second shot harder on myself. Or I'd really like to be at somewhere, let's see where I'm at. I want to be able to reach this fairway right here. Let's see how this goes. I think if they hit it good, hit it perfect, they got a pretty good shot of getting over there. That should be nice. Let's give them a chip. And that's a downhill. That's no gimme chip, but that's a chip. If I can make that spot. What I'd really like to do is be able to make that spot. I'm not going to be able to make that spot. There's 1, 2. Let's take that wind out. 5, 3. There's 6. Let's see if I can catch it. If I can catch that fairway at all. Ugh. Just missed it. Not quite far enough out. If I can just catch that fairway even a little bit, I can get almost all the way up there. I'm going to have to make 2 rough shots in a row. Am I not doing myself any favors? That's not an easy. I would have taken a little bit more time on the setup and made sure that I had it just like I liked it. Let's see where I'm at in my club. There's max. There's mid. I'm in about the 3 per ring range. Three per ring, so that's about a ring and a smidget. So we're just going to do the ring. Try and hit it perfect. Hitting it perfect. See if I got this wind adjustment right. Just a bit outside. Probably should have did like a 10% pull on it. But at that point it would have been so small it would have been hard to do. That would only been 0.3, so it would have been 3.5. That'd have been a ring and a sixth. In the hole. Oh, close. It's a draw. Let's see if we can get one of the Glenmonarch par 3s we're looking for. This is not one of the holes that we're looking for. I'm going to do a bounce over from this spot right here. And there is a wind adjustment. There isn't a wind adjustment we need to make here. If I remember correctly, I think it's 10%. Never been a fan of hitting off where my opponent's at, where you're hitting on these hill faces. And look at that hill face. You hit a little to the left, a little to the right, and your end result is going to be dramatically different. So if you're hitting on flat ground and you hit a one ring great to the left or the right, or you don't quite make your wind adjustment right, you're still moving in the same direction. You're just going to be off to the left or the right. But on a hill like that, you start hitting greats to the left or the right, or if you don't do a great wind adjustment, you can find yourself in a huge spot of bother. If I remember correctly, it's slightly lying. 2-1. I'm going to do a 2-3. There's 2, 3. Hitting it perfect. See if I got my speed right. Just a bit outside. Just a bit outside. Maybe it was a 20% wind adjustment. Good game. See if they'll rematch. Come on, come on, come on, guest. Guessed who? Alright, well, open up that chest and get it rolling. So we got some time on the video. How much time we got? How much time we got here? We got plenty of time. 20 more minutes. We can get at least 3 more holes in. See if we can get 3 more wins. Come on, Glenmonarch Estates. Glenmonarch Estates, hole 1, par 4. This is not one of the holes we were looking for. See if we can get it up there. I'm going to have to put a little teeny bit of curl on it to move it around. Let's fight that wind. 2, 4, 6, 8. Right back to the red line. Put a little bit of curl to bring it back over to the fairway and just a titch of overpower. Hitting it perfect. Just bleeding myself out there. A little bit of clip in the rough cost me some distance, but I'm still in a good spot. I should be mid-max Hornet from there. I'm going to take off 10% of the wind. Last time this hole was in a tournament, I was playing Hammer and Hank. For those of you that watch Hammer and Hank stream, I was watching, me and him were out practicing, and we were working on a shot on the other side. If you bring out a big power ball, there's a shot you can get on in one. It's not as easy to do when you're fighting against headwind, but if you have any side wind or tailwind, there is a shot with a power 5 ball. Okay, there's Min. There's Max, so I'm eking towards mid. So it's 5, equals divided by 1.75. It's about 257. So there's 2, 5, 6, 7. Hitting it perfect. See if I got that adjustment right. It's going to be close and whole. Eagle. I normally would have put on just a sliver of backspin there. I don't normally like to set my shots up where I don't have any backspin or topspin, but because the ball guide's telling you one thing when you don't put any topspin or backspin on there, but how it actually responds when it's bouncing. Sometimes it can, even though you didn't put any topspin on there, it seems like it rolls out. It just releases and just rolls out. Your bounces are a little wrong. Put a little teeny bit of backspin on. I find if you put a little bit of backspin, you have more control over a ball when you put backspin on it. There's a certain point where you put so much backspin on it that literally when it hits the ground you have no control over it, but you put just a little teeny bit of backspin on so that when the ball hits, it's shortening up those hops. And the ball seems to respond a little bit more like the ball guide's telling you it's going to. Come on, dude. Come on, Cherie. 1, 2, 3. Come on, man. Me wasting video time. Let's see what we got in that pin chest. 13, 22 comments. That's what we're looking for. $25 in that silver chest. Another pin chest right behind it. Off we roll. Let's come on, man. We need Glenmonarch. There's a couple of the holes that I really want to try. I really want to practice my max overpower hook on. This is not one of the holes we're looking for either. Yeah, this is one of the holes we're looking for. So I'm going to switch this up to a Titan. And I'm going to switch this up to an extra mile and a Guardian. I'm going to do a 10% wind adjustment. So it's I'm going to do like 1/6. So it's 2 per ring. 2.1 per ring. There's 1, 6. Hitting it perfect. And let's see if I can get my bounces right so that I do a second bounce rough bump. There's 1. And just bleed out, and that puts me in that. It puts me in this fairway pad. It puts me in the right front quadrant, which gives me a better line to the cup. So if you draw the line across and then cut that quadrant in half, your typical landing area for the normal shot here puts you in the left quadrant. And I'm trying to be as close up here in the front where I'm at, because it gives me a little bit better angle to the green. And I think that shot doing the rough bump might be a better percentage shot than trying to bleed myself through. Because when you come over on that side right there, you've really got to get your topspin right if you're trying to go all the way over. Otherwise, it's so easy to do exactly what my opponent did, and that is, you can't make it from there. Hell, you can barely make it with a big wood and a big ball. And this is why, if you watch my walkthrough, I talk about the big dog working better, because you got a little bit more control. To 8. It's 1.1 per ring, so there's 2.8. That puts me a little bit in the power. I hit it 2 rings great to the left. Close. I was trying to be in as centered as possible there, so if I did hit it 1 ring great to the left or the right, I'd still be in pretty good shape. 2 ring, maybe. And that was close. This is definitely a hole too that a 4 power ball, a 5 power ball almost is too much. Like, you can easily get it done with a 4 power ball, and the difference between how easy it is with a 4 power ball and what you have to do with a 3 power ball, a 4 power ball is definitely worth the usage. But a 5 power ball might be too much. You get out there, and I mean, it won't be any easier or harder than it would be with a 4 power ball. That little teeny bit on that Guardian right there, I would have been able to just go up against the red line with no overpower. And with a couple topspin, I would have been able to get my second bounce to the other side of this sand. And if I could get my second bounce over there without any overpower, maybe 1 or 2 topspin, the Guardian would have been fine. If you can get just a little bit farther up in there, you could actually get to the point where you might be able to engage a little bit of backspin. Kind of like the shot that I did. And that 4 power ball will definitely help you. Because the 4 power ball is not going to necessarily, or even a 5 power ball, are not going to necessarily help you on the drive. In Expert, and I can't remember how to do this shot because it's probably been 2 years since I've done it. In Expert, with the bigger winds, there is a shot from the tee box where you can do a max overpower hook and end up all the way over, be able to get over that river. And then you're in a really good spot. How much time we got? 42. I got plenty of time. Let's clear that slot. I have time for at least 2 more holes. Clear it. Let's go see if we can win 2 more. Hole 5. Tour 5. I liked it when Tour 5 had Greenock Point in it as well. I love the Greenock Point holes. We just played those holes in a tournament not too long ago, and they changed up, I think, 4 of the holes. And this hole right here, we're going to just continue to get this hole over and over and over and over. The good news is that every time we get it, we're getting headwind. Of course. Very nice. Oh my gosh, that felt good. Sorry about that. Woo! I almost need a cigarette now. I'm going to do 10% on the drive, so that's going to be 5-5, that's going to be 6. It's 2-4-6-3. A little teeny bit of curl on it. And I hit it 1 ring great to the right. It's going to clip right there. That little teeny bit of curl saved me. That's why on shots like that, if you're trying to pull everything to the left, or if you're trying on a shot to pull everything to the right, you've got to put some curl on it, because your initial landing spot may be to the left or the right, but everything on the shot, because of that curl, is going to the left on that shot. So I hit 1 ring great to the right. The first bounce is 1 ring great to the right, but everything on that shot, side spin, everything, curl, was all trying to pull the ball to the left. You can get the ball to come back to the fairway even though I hit it to the right. Too close. Close. see where I'm at in my club. I'm right at minimum club, so it's 4.2 divided by 2. Divided by 2. 1.9 rings. I'm going to put just a smidgen of top or backspin on it. Hey, let's put a little bit more. 4.2. It's 1.9 rings. Almost at 2. Hitting it perfect. See if I got my speed right. It's going to end up short. Right on track. That ball guide appearing and disappearing there is not making me happy. Usually when that happens, when your ball guide is appearing and disappearing, like you make a small little change and it does the reverse of what it's supposed to, it's not good. That's why I put more backspin on it and try to get closer to the cup. But not close enough, evidently. In the hole. I think that's the first time I've got a birdie on that today. I think we've caught that hole three times. Three out of the 6 or 7 that I've played. All right, this hole is in the tournament. If you go to Golf Clash Notebook, they show the spot where you're hitting over here on the fairway. You can come here with a backspin club and start off on the green and try and bring it right to the cup. So Guardian, maybe an upper developed sniper has enough backspin, but Guardian for sure. Or you can bring a sniper and you can do a rough bump. Or you can do the bounce over the water. I've never really been a fan of the bouncing over the water. I want to be on the green side. Especially if you come here one-on-one and you've got any kind of headwind. I can't remember on this hole what kind of adjustments we do. It's 2.4. Where am I at in my club? I got to be pretty close to max, so it's 1.1 per ring. There's 2. I'm going to do 2 1/4 rings. It's a little bit of an over adjustment, but it seems like it's downhill. Hitting it perfect. Let's be real critical of where that first landing zone is. And it was way back from the first landing zone. I would have needed to do a much bigger wind adjustment. Especially against that headwind. Good game. Finally got one of the holes that's in the tournament, and epic failed it first time out. That would not have been an epic fail in a tournament. It's like, all right, I didn't give myself the hole in one shot, but I can still get up there and get my birdie and get the hell down the road. At least I didn't end up in the bad stuff. Got time for one more hole. If the video ends for some reason before we get to the end of it, thanks for watching. Trying to get back into the swing. Got a bunch of new stuff I need to set up. I'm going to work on my office this week. This weekend I'm going to set some stuff up in my office. I need to get the case for my tablet. I got the screen protector yesterday. Got a webcam, got a mic, got adjustable arms for them, got everything set up so I can go set up a little studio in my office and actually go play in the house. Work on that this weekend, and hopefully I can get all of the components that I need. I can start streaming and you guys won't hear that background noise of my CPU humming. on my laptop. Okay, I'm going to aim right towards that. Let's take the wind out. 3/4. It's about a ring and a half. I'm going to put the forward power back in. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if I got the angles right. I clip through here and then bleed through and stay out of that rough. Stay out of the rough! Need a little teeny bit more curl. Close. Close. See if my opponent can get in the hole. If they don't get in the hole, I think I'm going to force a shootout so we can maybe get one of the holes we're looking for. In tournament play, the last time we played this in a tournament, there's ways to get on the green in one if you bring out the right equipment. I was actually trying to get on in one, trying to bleed through that rough right there at the very end, and I probably should have just been trying to get on that little island and take the little hop over. I think it would have been a higher percentage way to go at it. Get in the hole. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Let's see if they recognize that I gave them a shot. Now I've got to make my shot, which I would have had to make anyways, but these are shots to practice right here. You can gain faith in these. Hitting it perfect. Hitting the flagpole in the hole. All right, forcing a shootout. See if we can get one of the holes we're looking for. Good game. This is one of the holes that we're looking for. Now there is a shot on this hole right here. The last time this was in a tournament, because I normally come up here with that's not going to work. I'm not going to be able to do either one of the shots that I want to do. I'll have to hit from over here. There's a shot from the other side over there. I normally take that with a sniper and try and do the rough bump. It's 2, 4, 6, 7. And I'm going to do a little more. Hitting it perfect. That you can do with a... I usually take this shot with a sniper, and I do a rough bump from the other side. But the last time we were in a tournament, the deal about taking the sniper in there is you're coming... It's a little peanut shape here, so on this side it's up a hill, and on this side it's uphill, and there's a trough that goes through the middle. So when you come through here with a sniper and you're doing the rough bump, you're having to go through the entire gambit of all of the movement that's on there. My buddy Dale Appleby had a shot that came through here with a Goliath and a Kingmaker, so that you were in your Goliath range, so it pushed the red line forward. That I think was a rough bump that started off a little bit more to the right, and it was money. Like if you set it up this way and you hit it perfect, it's going in the hole. And the shot with the rough bump, it's just, you gotta be so on track with it. But there is another way to go with that Goliath, and I need to call my buddy Dale and find out what the deal was. Good game. Good game. All right, that was 55 minutes and 18 seconds, 19 seconds of Tour 5, trying to pick up some of the Glenmonarch estate holes. Clearing out some chests, getting some more commons. All right, thanks for watching.